Hey guys, Jose Acosta here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing a review on the latest episode of All Elite Wrestling. And I gotta say, for this episode, I'm really hyped up because we're gonna see Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy go against Santana and Ortiz. We got the return of Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus going against Best Friends. And we also get to see Pineapple Pete Shugdi trying to get his revenge on Chris Jericho for him being targeted by him. So what's going to happen in this episode? I don't know. I just can't wait to take the journey and see what goes on, and hope you guys join along with me. Alright guys, so to begin this week's show, they started off with the promo from Jake Roberts and Lance Archer. As you guys know from last week, Lance Archer defeated QT Marshall, and after an attack from Britt Baker on Brandy, she gets put into the ring, dragged into the ring, and Jake Roberts put the snake on her. So that's going to target Cody more for them. So they get into the ring, and to start it all off, he's basically saying that they told him that he owes Brandy an apology and stuff like that, but he's not going to do it unless, in his words, Brandy kisses his ass. And then goes on by saying that the ring is no man's land, so no matter what happens, he can't be accountable for what he does, and that women like Brandy don't technically belong in the ring is what he's saying. He's saying they're mostly used for like housework and other stuff like that, which is really cringing at the same time, but that's the way that Jake Roberts works, and I like that as a heel for himself. So later on, we get Cody coming into the arena in a F-Ford 150 and comes out from there and starts attacking on Lance Archer. And then, of course, it goes for a little while. I mean, there's some kind of sloppiness into it. Not a lot, but I still like the fact that Cody stands up for himself and all that. And it just ends with them staring each other down. And I do like where it's going from this point. Of course, we have this episode and next week's episode till Double or Nothing. So to kind of have this going right now is awesome. And I can't wait to see Double or Nothing, to see who becomes the TNT champion. And hopefully, it's Cody. Alright guys, so for the first match, it was Jurassic Express versus the Best Friends. And as you guys know, with the rankings, Best Friends is second when it comes to the best tag teams in AEW right now, while Jurassic Express comes in fourth. So this is the battle between top five. And the thing about it is that I do love both teams. They both have great chemistry, not only as a team, but when they're going against each other. And this really played out inside the match. This is one of my favorite matches from either one of them. But unfortunately, with this, there has to be something that kind of gets in the way. And with this point, it's when Phoenix basically kicks Orange Cassidy, and MJF gets involved into the match and hits Jungle Boy on the post, giving the Best Friends the upper advantage, and Best Friends winning the match. And then after, Wardlow attacks Marco Stunt, and here comes Luchasaurus for the save. Basically, him getting mad at Wardlow just staring him down. So, which makes me think either next week there's going to be a matchup between Wardlow and Luchasaurus, or maybe a Double or Nothing match between the both of them. I do want to see these giants go against each other in the near future, so hopefully that happens sooner or later. And I can't wait to see what happens next within not only the tag team division, but in their individual careers as well. And also, can't wait to see how Jungle Boy takes care of MJF later on at Double or Nothing. Alright guys, so for the next match, it's Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. And as you guys know, for this match, it's going to be kind of an advantage to see who will be going against Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing. And for this one, Shida comes in with her streak still intact, 11 weeks straight as number one in the women's division, and I think that's cool. And the fact that she's back in the ring was great to see. The match itself was good. There was little stumbles in the match, but I do like it. Britt Baker's still trying to go after Sheeta for what she did to her last time, which was broke her nose. And also, Statlander, I haven't seen her in action that much recently, but I'm glad to see her back in the ring. Ford, of course, has Kip on her side, so they kind of played out a little bit, but it was just to basically have like a little makeout session with Penelope Ford, which Sheeta took advantage of, kind of rolled her up first, didn't work. Then later on in the match, hits her with that Rising Sun knee strike that she has, defeated Ford, and defeated the rest of the female talent to keep that streak alive. But that wasn't all, because while that was happening, Baker had Statlander in the lockjaw and just kept it on her. Weirdest thing is that she had a glove with her, and no one knew where she got the glove on. But besides all that, would this mean that Baker's gonna have a rivalry with Statlander anytime soon? Can we see this at Double or Nothing? What's gonna happen between these two? I can't wait to see that, and hopefully Statlander gets some revenge on her for that. I can't wait to see that. Alright guys, so for the next match, it's Santana and Ortiz going against Hardy and Omega. So if you guys remember watching last week, Santana and Ortiz got involved into the match between like Sex Gods and Hardy and Omega, which led to Guevara and Jericho winning. Now to start this match off, Ortiz and Santana attacks Kenny Omega, and after they're done basically attacking them, Hardy comes out and comes in for the save. That begins the whole match, and I gotta say for this match, there was a lot of back and forth action going between both teams. I liked it, and we even got a little appearance from Sammy Guevara, who was in a neck brace, wanting to hit Matt Hardy, but all that earned him was a twist of fate. And with all of that, it still wasn't enough for Santana and Ortiz to get the win, as Ortiz gets hit with the V-trigger and Hardy goes for the pin, which leads to Matt Hardy having his first win within an AEW ring. And I'm happy to see this, and I just want to see how this plays out with the whole Elite and Matt Hardy against the Inner Circle thing. And I'm really excited, can't wait to see that happen. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is Double or Nothing announcements. As you guys know, there was matches that was announced last week, including the Casino Ladder match. And they explained that it's going to be 9 participants in the match, which we already know 4, which is Phoenix, Colt Cabana, Darby Allin, and Orange Cassidy. And basically the rules of it is going to be every 90 seconds, another person will be coming into the ring until all 9 people are in and competing for that contract for an AEW championship in the future. And I like this stipulation. It's going to be fun to see. It's going to be different, so that's the thing I'm kind of happy about. But also we get a matchup between Nyla Rose and Sheeta for the AEW Women's Champion at Double or Nothing. And while they were talking to Sheeta about it, Nyla Rose confronts her and basically hits her with her own kendo stick that she's been missing, straight up in the forehead. And it was brutal. I mean, it was cool. And this kind of puts this match forward, and I can't wait to see what happens. Will Sheeta dethrone Nyla, or Nyla reign supreme against Sheeta? Alright guys, so the next match we're going to be talking about is MJF versus Lee Johnson. As you guys know, this is MJF's return match. And to put him against somebody that's been having a losing streak for the past couple months within AEW is kind of that warm-up match for him. And to begin the match, he cheap shot at Lee Johnson before the bell even rung. And even with that, there was no chance for Lee Johnson to get back into the match, as not only did he get power slammed to the side of the mat, but he also took a wicked bad shoulder breaker and armbar to lose the match. And for MJF, he announces that next week he'll be having a matchup against Marco Stunt, which we'll see what happens in the future with that part, and let's see what happens next week. Alright guys, so for the next match, it was Chris Jericho versus Pineapple Pete. And as you guys know, Jericho has been kind of targeting Pineapple Pete by calling him that when his actual ring name is Suge D. But it really pushed him last week to the point where he slapped Jericho, and which led to this match this week. And I love the entrance that they gave Pineapple Pete. Of course, they added Pyro to his, which I thought was pretty cool. And this was a really quick match. Jericho slaps Pineapple Pete. Pineapple Pete goes and attacks him for a good while, for at least a minute. And then when he was trying to go for like a third, when he was trying to run towards Jericho for a third time, Jericho hits him with the unexpected Judas effect, which ends the match and ends the rivalry between Pineapple Pete and Chris Jericho. Now Jericho is focused on the Elite, still wondering if there is an Elite, and challenges them to a match at Double or Nothing, which is a match that is going to be, what he says, more worse than the street fight from last week. And they're calling this the Stadium Stampede, which means we're going to be getting a match heading towards inside the Jacksonville Jaguars football stadium. And he's waiting for an answer from the Elite. So Vanguard 1 comes out for the Elite and accepts the challenge on behalf of them. But not only that, Jericho grabs his bat named Floyd and tells Vanguard to send a message not only to himself, but to the Elite as well, and destroys Vanguard 1, which is just a resemblance to Matt Hardy's whole broken brilliance and all that. So after they were done destroying, Matt Hardy comes out and they all leave. Hardy comes in and basically hugs Vanguard, because to him that's like family. And it sucks to see Vanguard go like this, but it brings more fuel to the table for the Elite and Matt Hardy to hopefully get their revenge on the Elite, or on the Inner Circle. So I can't wait to see that match at Double or Nothing, and hopefully the Elite becomes emerged. Okay guys, so for the main event, it was SCU's Christopher Daniels going against Dark Order's Brodie Lee, or I should say Mr. Brodie Lee now. With this one, of course, last week Dark Order and Brodie Lee took the AEW Championship from Jon Moxley, because they're going to be a matchup between him and Moxley for the AEW Championship at Double or Nothing. And if you guys remember the history between SCU and Dark Order, it was with the fact that everybody was assuming that Christopher Daniels was a part of maybe the Dark Order, but the Exalted One ended up being Brodie Lee, which finally set up a match between the two. And I like the fact that they had this match. And then, of course, they're going to kind of give Brodie Lee the upper hand, since between him and Daniels, all Daniels has towards him is not only experience, but with speed as well. Brodie Lee has power and strength, and he used that to the fullest within the match. Of course, there was some moments where Christopher Daniels hit Brodie Lee with the chair while the ref was being distracted with SCU and Dark Order fighting on the other side. Daniels had the Koji clutch for a good moment until other members of Dark Order got into the ring. They didn't attack Daniels, but they did distract him to get that hold off. Then, of course, we see him hitting the angel wings, but Brodie Lee kicked out at 1, and after that, he hits the BME, best moonsault ever, but it still wasn't enough to keep Brodie Lee down. So then, after all that, Daniels goes back to the top of the rope to hit some kind of slam, but instead, Brodie Lee counters it with a power slam of his own and hits a discus lariat on Christopher Daniels to finish the match and to win the match. And then after all that is done, they come back with the title, and here comes Jon Moxley attacking the followers. And while he is attacking the 3 followers, Brodie Lee and 10 make their escape with the AEW Championship. So Moxley is upset about this still, and he also says that he made a huge mistake by doing that. And he basically says that the AEW Championship is more than just a piece of metal, and you're going to be fighting that out at Double or Nothing. And also, he says that at Double or Nothing, this is going to mark the end of his career. So I'm excited to see what Moxley does to Brodie Lee at Double or Nothing, and hopefully Moxley retains the championship. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys like it. And as you guys know, I always rate this between a 1 to 10. And this week, I'm going to give this one an 8. I did love it. Some little flaws within either the matches or some of the promos. But other than that, it was a great show. Awesome to see all these guys competing. And I just can't wait to see what happens next week. And of course, this video will be coming next week as well within next week's AEW review. Other than that, guys, please like, comment, subscribe down below. And thank you guys for watching. And I hope you guys have a good day. And until next time, see you in the next one.